International Outpost. We welcome you back from the holiday yesterday, and here in Mission Control, leading the Orbit 2 team of flight controllers is Flight Director Rick Henfling. He is in the blue shirt in the center of your screen. To his right, spacecraft communicator John Voss, who is talking to the Expedition 66 crew on board the International Space Station when required throughout the course of today's operations. Across the Atlantic Ocean, outside of Moscow in the town of Korolyov, this view of Russian flight controllers at the Russian Mission Control Center, who are monitoring all of their data as they watch the slow and methodical approach of the Russian module called Prishal, the Russian word for peer. And there's a view of it as the Russian Prishal node module and its attached Progress propulsion module fly into an orbital sunrise over the South Pacific, about to begin a swing from southwest to northeast in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. Prishal was launched 2 days ago from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. It is a 5-ton module with 6 docking ports, one of which, of course, will be used today to link up to the Earth-facing port of the Naoka Multipurpose Laboratory module, with docking scheduled just under 55 minutes from now. All of the node module systems, all of the Progress propulsion module systems, the Progress propulsion module is attached to Prishal. All of those systems have operated perfectly since launch. All of the pre-programmed engine firings to raise the altitude of Prishal and Progress from its initial orbital insertion altitude, from which it began its chase for the International Space Station 2 days ago. All of those systems have operated by the book, no problems reported whatsoever. Prishal and Progress are about 30 kilometers away from the International Space Station, closing at a normal rate of closure towards the International Space Station. At the time of docking, about 53.5 minutes from now, Prishal and Progress will be closing at a rate of about 1/10 of a meter per second, allowing for contact and capture to the open port on the Naoka Multipurpose Laboratory module. Prishal, with 5 available docking ports after its link up to Naoka after today, will be able to accommodate multiple Progress resupply ships, as well as piloted Soyuz spacecraft in the future. It is a bulbous module weighing about 5 tons, 16 feet long, 8.5 feet in diameter. The node module will remain attached to Naoka, the Progress delivery craft that is sending Prishal to its final destination on the nadir port of Naoka today. It will detach from the node module on December 21st and be deorbited to burn up in the Earth's atmosphere. This is a graphic that shows the post-docking configuration of the Russian segment after today's link-up of Prishal and the Progress delivery craft, and what the configuration will look like after the Progress craft departs on December 21st, leaving the node module in place. A spacewalk, a Russian spacewalk that is planned for about the 3rd week in January, will enable the node module to be integrated into the Russian segment of the International Space Station, as its core's automated rendezvous system and TV cable connections will be hooked up, along with docking targets and handrails for future use. The first docking of a Russian vehicle to Prishal is scheduled for a Soyuz piloted vehicle next March.
Copy.
Есть захват, дальность 13500, скорость минус 20.
This is a view from an external camera on the Progress delivery craft that is attached to Prishal. This is the familiar engineering cross-haired camera. There will be telemetry that will be overlaid on this display as Prishal moves ever closer to its docking to the International Space Station. Again, Prishal, Progress, and the International Space Station itself, with its 7 crew members on board, flying 260 miles over the South Pacific, about to begin a southwest to northeasterly track that will carry it across Chile, across the eastern coast of South America, traversing up the east coast of South America, and across the west coast of Africa a short time from now. The journey of Prичал, the final element for the Russian segment of the International Space Station, began 2 days ago with its launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan on a Soyuz 2.1B rocket from Site 31 in Baikonur. The launch that occurred at 7:06 a.m. Central Time, 6:06 p.m. in Baikonur, resulted in an 8-minute, 45-second transit to the separation of Prичал from the third stage of the Soyuz rocket. The navigational antennas and solar arrays on the Progress delivery craft were deployed right after spacecraft separation from the Soyuz booster's third stage, enabling all of its systems to be checked out by the Russian flight controllers and for all of its automated engine firings to begin. That now has resulted in Prичал soon to enter the neighborhood of the International Space Station.
Moscow, we just lost video image. The range is 11,770. Range rate is 17 meters per second. Copy, please continue.
You're hearing the interpreted conversations between Russian flight controllers in Korolyov and the 2 cosmonauts on board the International Space Station, Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov, who are inside the Zvezda service module at a workstation. They will be manning the controls of a joystick called the Toru system, the telerobotically operated rendezvous system, in the unlikely event that the Progress's automated cores rendezvous system should incur a malfunction during the final phase of today's rendezvous. So far, the cores is locked on solidly with a comparable system on the International Space Station, providing updated navigational information into the Progress Prичал combination computers, guiding it towards what initially will be a fly-around of the station about 24.5 minutes from now. That'll be a 54-degree fly-around to precisely align the forward docking probe on Prичал to the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module docking port for final approach and ultimately contact and capture, with docking scheduled at 9:26 a.m. Central Time, 10:26 a.m. Eastern Time. The docking port to which Prичал is arriving in just 48 minutes from now was cleared yesterday on Thanksgiving morning when the unpiloted 78 Progress cargo craft detached, undocked from the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module and backed away. This is a replay of yesterday's undocking of the 78 Progress cargo craft. It undocked at 5:23 a.m. Central Time, 6:23 a.m. Eastern Time, backed away to a safe distance away from the International Space Station, from which Russian flight controllers then sent commands to deorbit that vehicle loaded with trash, where it fell back into the Earth's atmosphere and burned up harmlessly over the Pacific Ocean. The detachment of the 78 Progress craft cleared the way again for the nadir, or Earth-facing port, on the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module to greet the new Prичал node module, with that docking scheduled just under 47 minutes from now.
Moscow Station, range is 9 kilometers. I go to activate VHF2. EUR.
The report from the Russian Control Center is that Prичал is now about 9 kilometers away from the International Space Station, closing at a normal rate towards its initial fly-around of the station, and a very, very brief period of station keeping in which the node module will basically, the progress delivery craft attached to Prishal will put the brakes on for a period of station keeping. That will enable Russian flight controllers to assess the alignment of the forward docking probe on Prishal toward the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module before the final command is sent for the final approach and link up of Prishal to Naoka. On board the International Space Station, the 7 crew members, as mentioned before, from left to right, NASA astronauts Raja Chari and Tom Marshburn, European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer, cosmonauts Anton Shkaplerov, who was the station commander, along with Pyotr Dubrov, and second from the right, Kayla Barron, and on the far right, NASA's Mark Vande Hei. They're up and around. They're conducting other business outside of Shkaplerov and Dubrov, who, as I mentioned a moment ago, are inside the Zvezda service module, monitoring the approach of Prishal at the ready to take over manual control in the unlikely event an issue would occur with the Corps' automated rendezvous system. Marshburn, Barron, and Vande Hei later today, along with Matthias Maurer, will be conducting a spacewalk procedure conference with flight controllers here in Houston in advance of next Tuesday's spacewalk by Tom Marshburn and Caleb Barron. That will begin at 6:10 a.m. Central Time, 7:10 a.m. Eastern Time, to replace a faulty S-band communications antenna system on the Port 1 truss of the International Space Station. We'll talk more about that later in the broadcast. This view now of the engineering data on the external camera of the Progress delivery craft attached to Prishal, showing in the bottom left-hand corner the distance between Prishal and Progress and the International Space Station, now just over 7 kilometers separating the arriving Prishal module and the station, closing at a rate of just under 10 meters per second.
TV burn is complete. Copy that. Now for Piotr, you can activate recording since we're already getting a video image from both MLM and Progress. So this is a perfect time to press recording and start recording the entire sequence. Copy. Starting recording in work.
Again, Russian flight controllers, you're hearing the interpretation of their conversations with Russian cosmonauts Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov on board the International Space Station, actively monitoring the approach of Prishal to the complex. You just saw an external HD camera view from International Space Station cameras as the station approaches the coast of Chile and the Andes Mountains, moving from southwest to northeast.
And the recording field is showing that recording is in progress, and the time is incrementing. Copy, Peter. Thank you very much.
In just a few minutes, there will be a test of the command link from Shkaplerov and Dubrov of the telerobotically operated rendezvous system as they send test signals basically to the onboard systems of the Prishal node module and the Progress delivery craft that is attached to Prishal. This will verify that we have a good backup rendezvous system in the event a problem would occur with the Corps' automated rendezvous system. So far, Corps is operating solidly, providing all of the updated navigational information to the Progress's onboard computers. You can see traversing the river along Chile's mountains. That white dot you see, that is the Prishal module and the Progress resupply or delivery craft in this case. As Prичал in progress approach the 5-kilometer mark away from the International Space Station. Prичал in progress, now crossing the pampas of Argentina. Will pass just to the west of Buenos Aires on this pass. A good view of the Progress delivery craft in the Prичал node module, flying over Argentina. Moving inexorably towards its docking to the International Space Station less than 40 minutes from now. There will be a series of so-called impulse burns. Those are small engine firings on the Progress delivery craft. It essentially is a propulsion module for the Prичал node. Those impulse burns are small engine firings to fine-tune the vehicle's path to the International Space Station. We're about 15 minutes away from the new Prичал entering the neighborhood of the International Space Station for its fly-around and its alignment to the nadir or Earth-facing port of the Neoka Multipurpose Laboratory module. Prичал in progress, now crossing the border between Argentina and Uruguay. And there's our first view of the International Space Station from external cameras on Prичал in progress. Now 3 kilometers separating the new module from its final destination, closing at a rate of 8 meters per second. Prичал in progress and now have moved across Uruguay, now flying 260 miles over southern Brazil.
Дальность 900 есть разворот.
Принято.
Range rate and rotation started.
And a good view of the new Prичал node module and the attached progress instrumentation and propulsion compartment. The new module right on course for a docking scheduled 35 minutes from now. Again, the node module consists of 6 docking ports, one of which will be employed to link up to the NAOCA multipurpose laboratory module. 5 radial ports will then be available to accommodate future unpiloted Progress resupply vehicles and piloted Soyuz spacecraft.
Copy. We have rotation in reverse and a 5.55 range is 2 kilometers. We're watching the reverse maneuver.
Замыкаем в центре ВКУ. Дальность 1500, скорость 4.23.
Range rate 4.23, range rate 1.76. We give you a go to activate. Okay, standing by. To activate Toru. Anton, we give you a go to activate Toru. Copy your go to activate Toru. We're activating Toru.
Majestically framed against the limb of the Earth, the Prичал node module and the Progress instrumentation and propulsion compartment flying just to the northwest of Rio de Janeiro.
We're performing Toru test. Operate for
1.5 kilometers separating Prичал from the International Space Station, closing at a rate of 4 meters per second. About 8.5 minutes from beginning its fly around of the complex that you see in this view from the external camera on Progress, closing in right on course and right on track for its docking.
We release the push button. I'm activating the network. We have the power network of the hand controllers activating VPS input, initial, activating VPS initial. We have internal power on. Copy. I am preparing the hand controllers. Yes, start the test, the hand controller test. The hand controllers are on. We are starting hand controller test for attitude, moving hand controller up. We see all 4 illuminated. Neutral. no longer illuminated. Motion down. 4 LEDs are illuminated. Neutral position, no longer illuminated. Moving to the left.
Russian flight controllers continuing to provide situational awareness for Anton Shkaplerov, the ISS commander, and his fellow Russian cosmonaut, Pyotr Dubrov, inside the Zvezda service module. They've just conducted a test of the telerobotically operated rendezvous system, a backup system to the Core's automated rendezvous system that is currently guiding Prishal in progress toward the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module. Here in Mission Control in Houston, Flight Director Rick Henfling shortly will conduct a poll of his flight controllers to get a go, no-go for final approach and docking. He then will relay that to his Russian shift flight controller, flight director counterpart at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow.
Down. Internal and external are on, neutral position, no longer illuminated, to the left. External and internal are on, neutral position, no longer illuminated. To the right, external and internal are on. The switch, pulling the switch down. Internal and external are on, released, no longer illuminated. Pushing it away from myself. Internal and external are on. Neutral position, no longer illuminated. The solid hand controller test is without issues. Copy. Thank you.
The reports are all good. All of Prishal's systems, all of Progress's systems in perfect shape so far. Now 800 meters separating the new module from the International Space Station, closing at a rate of 2 meters per second.
Okay, copy. No longer illuminated. Copy, Anton. Work per item 12.3. Starting on item 12.3. BPS in the initial position. Activating operation. Turned on the operation.
And Flight Director Rick Henfling has completed his poll of flight controllers. All positions here are go for docking. The International Space Station in Prishal now flying 260 miles just off the northeast coast of South America.
Anton, you can set the video that is comfortable for you.
Вы feel комфортно.
I have I have set up the comfortable position. Okay, copy. I have turned off the operation, and now the 4 LEDs are not on. Copy. I am going to go to page 92 and continue the approach. Range, speaking simultaneously. Range 155. Copy. Work for page 92 from the start of the fly around. Copy. I am on page 92.
And as you heard, everything is all set for the beginning of the 54-degree fly around of Prishal in progress to align the new module with the nadir docking port, the Earth-facing docking port of the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module. The reports are at the 500-meter mark, separating Prishal and the International Space Station. All systems are in perfect shape.
Дальность 450, скорость минус 1.
Range rate is 450.
Принято.
Copy.
Дальность 400. Есть.
Range is 400. Depot activation confirmed. We confirm fly around. Copy.
Дальше по 90.
And the report right on target, the fly around of Prичал in progress of the International Space Station now underway, 365 meters separating the new module from the International Space Station. And again, you can see the fly around as it is being conducted from the external engineering camera on the Progress delivery craft.
Дальность 300 метров, скорость.
Range is 300 meters. Range rate 1.38.
Exactly where Prичал and Progress are supposed to be at this point of the fly around, which should be completed shortly at a distance of about 200 meters, at which point there'll be a brief period of station keeping.
Range visually and verify the course readings using the scale. Okay, it's about 1.5 squares is the range. Okay, copy.
Главное, чтобы более 2 клеток не было.
Oh, it's slightly bigger than 1 square. It's about 1.2 squares per scale. Okay, copy. That it matches.
Approaching the west coast of Africa now. ...240 meters separating Prичал in progress from the International Space Station's Naoka module, closing at a rate of 0.2 of a meter per second.
Стыковочный модуль чуть больше 1 клетки.
The docking module is slightly bigger than 1 square. Copy.
Антон, ждем завкон. Я напомню.
Okay, go ahead on SAFCON. Perform station keeping, Anton. Okay, in 17 minutes, copy. The docking module is within 1 degree.
Принято.
Copy.
Наблюдаю разворот по креслу.
I am watching the maneuver, the roll maneuver. Copy.
This roll maneuver now underway will properly align the solar arrays on the Progress instrumentation and propulsion compartment into the right orientation for final approach, contact, and capture. 200 meters separating Prичал from Naoka. Crossing the border now between Mauritania and Morocco.
Дальность 190.
Range is 190.
Принято.
Yaw is about 0. Watching the roll maneuver. Copy. Anton.
Выдать команду формат 44.
Send the command BPS initial from the display for and operation. Sending command BPS initial. 4 LEDs are on. Now they're no longer illuminated. I see operation. 4 are on.
This is Mission Control Houston, a great view of the node module, the Prичал, the brand new module and the final element of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. The Russian flight controllers wasted little time giving a go for final approach after just a few seconds of station keeping. So we're in the final phase of this rendezvous, with docking scheduled about 17 minutes from now.
4 LEDs are no longer illuminated. Copy. Work for page 93, monitoring automatic approach. Copy, working for page 93.
Находится справа внизу в пределах.
The target is toward bottom right, within 2 degrees. Range rate is 160, and range rate is negative 0.8. I confirm that the dimensions are aligned, and the range is about 150. Copy.
Coming up on the 100-meter mark separating Prичал and Naoka, you can see the circular docking port of the multipurpose laboratory module just below the crosshairs in this external engineering camera on the Progress delivery craft. Closing at a rate of about 0.6 of a meter per second now. Flying just to the south of Casablanca.
SM, the range is showing 100 meters. Copy, range is 100 meters. Target is toward the bottom by 2 degrees, and crosshairs are aligned. Copy. 10 minutes until eclipse. The headlight is on. Copy. Copy. The headlight is on. SM is showing range is about 75. Range rate is 033. The target is the same towards the bottom by 2 degrees, and crosshairs are aligned. Copy.
"65 meters now separating Prичал, this great view of the new node module and the attached Progress delivery craft as the combination sails 263 statute miles off the northern coast of Africa over the Mediterranean.
MCC Moscow, the range is about 40 meters per the measurement. It's 46 per course measurement. Range is 0.17, and the target is toward the bottom by 2 degrees. Do you see the video? Yes, I see the video. We see the video. We see the message that is SVP is ready.
Forward docking probe on Prичал has been extended. The docking system is now active, some 12 minutes away from contact and capture.
Anton, at range 30, at 30-meter range, do not send command over antenna is retracted. Okay, copy. Range is about 30 meters. I am turning off VPS initial operation. Copy.
Flying just north of Rome and soon to enter an orbital sunset, the node module now just 30 meters away from its final port of call.
AGC mode. Yes, the target is towards the bottom by about 2 degrees. The crosshairs are aligned. Copy. Speaking simultaneously. Range is about 20 to 0. Copy. Continue. We can continue monitoring the automatic approach. We see some interferences in the video, and now the video is restored. Copy. 5 minutes until eclipse. One cell on the target. About 18-meter range. Okay, we see a little bit of a roll. We see the target toward the bottom within 2 degrees. Copy.
All of those reports to Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov on the International Space Station indicating a perfect alignment of the Prichal's forward docking probe that you can see in this view as it is about to pass behind the solar array on a Soyuz vehicle that is docked nearby
The roll
at the Rassvet module of the International Space Station. Now 15 meters separating Prichal from Naoka, closing at a rate of 1/10 of a meter per second.
I'm working with AGC mode. I see crosshairs are being misaligned. I see the target. The roll is about 30 degrees. Copy. About 2 cells. The range is about 8 meters. The target is to the left by about 3 degrees. Copy. The misalignment is increasing. 3 degrees to the left. We're going with the roll bias of 30. 2.5 cells. The range is about 6 meters. Copy. Continue monitoring the automatic approach until it's more by the misalignment is more than 4 cells. Okay.
6 meters away now.
3 degrees to the left and bottom, now about 2 degrees.
Core's final alignment is taking over.
Bias is
standing by for contact and capture.
About 1 meter. Three degrees to the left, to the bottom 1 degree. We have contact.
Contact confirmed and capture confirmed at 9:19 a.m. Central Time, 10:19 a.m. Eastern Time, as Prichal and the International Space Station flew 262 miles over Ukraine. So, a holiday season delivery of a new module to complete the Russian segment of the International Space Station, now complete.
Completion and toward deactivation.
The docking probe now retracting. This will pull the two docking interfaces flush against one another to enable the initiation of the closing of hooks and latches.
Copy.
Once again, the new module, the node module, a multi-port docking venue for future Progress resupply craft and piloted Soyuz vehicles, now part of the International Space Station. You can see it there, docked to the Earth-facing port of the Naoka Multipurpose Laboratory Module, having been delivered by the Progress Instrumentation and Propulsion Module that is attached to Prishal, and which will undock on December 21st to be deorbited to burn up in the Earth's atmosphere, leaving the node module, of course, as a permanent fixture on the International Space Station. Docking occurring once again at 9:19 a.m. Central Time, 10:19 a.m. Eastern Time, as Prishal and the International Space Station flew over Ukraine. The hooks on the Prishal module now in the process of closing to form a hard mate between the newly arrived module and Naoka. This is Mission Control Houston. Hooks are now closed, forming a hard mate between the new Prishal module, the Russian word for pier, the new multi-port docking venue for multiple Progress and Soyuz vehicles of the future. Prishal arriving at the International Space Station about 6 minutes ago at 9:19 a.m. Central Time, 10:19 a.m. Eastern Time, linking up to the Earth-facing port of the Naoka Multipurpose Laboratory Module, having been delivered to the station by a modified Progress instrumentation and propulsion craft. That will separate from Prичал on December 21st, leaving the node module as a permanent fixture to the Russian segment of the International Space Station. It was as flawless a rendezvous as you can have. No issues from the time of its launch 2 days ago from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, arriving flawlessly after an uneventful journey on the 34 orbits from the launch pad in Baikonur to the International Space Station. This newly arrived node module, the Prичал, will be integrated into the Russian segment of the station during a Russian spacewalk by Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov on January 19th, when they will spend about 6.5 hours outside hooking up the core's automated rendezvous connections and television cable connections. Also will install docking targets and handrails and remove other antennas that will be jettisoned, no longer needed now that Prичал is attached to the International Space Station.
I wanted to check, do I execute item 11 only, or do I need to do item 10 as well?
So with Prичал having flawlessly and successfully docked to the Naoka module of the International Space Station, there's more activity on tap next week at the International Outpost. Let's take a quick look. Next up, a spacewalk by NASA astronauts Tom Marshburn and Kayla Barron to replace a faulty S-band communications antenna on the Port 1 truss of the International Space Station. We will preview that spacewalk, U.S. spacewalk number 78, in a briefing here at the Johnson Space Center next Monday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on NASA television. The spacewalk itself is scheduled for Tuesday, November 30th, a planned 6.5-hour excursion out of the Quest airlock of the International Space Station by Marshburn and Barron. That will begin, our coverage will begin at 4:30 a.m. Central, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time, with the spacewalk itself to get underway at about 6:10 Central Time, 7:10 a.m. Eastern Time. So with that, we'll wrap up our coverage for today. The Prичал node module now hard-mated to the Naoka Multipurpose Laboratory module after a perfect 2-day rendezvous following its launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. With that, we'll conclude for the day. We hope you have a great rest of the holiday weekend, and we'll see you back here next week for spacewalk coverage. This is Mission Control Houston.